Okay, and so during my presentation, okay, so I will sometimes ask you some questions, so you can answer my questions in the chat box or during my presentation if you have any questions. Okay, feel free to ask me. I welcome all the questions, and there will be some time I will use the Padlet for us to interact with each other. And yeah, and by the end of my presentation, if we still have time, I have a small quiz for you. Yeah, to wrap up for what.
Does the quiz come with a prize? Just joking. Okay, yeah, everyone, I think we should start a little bit early because, yeah, there is no need to wait. So here I give you Mr. Tuong, who is a passionate English lecturer from Tuong University. His philosophy of teaching is learning English should be fun, effective, and practical like playing the sport. And he expects to share with colleagues the experience in teaching and exchanges the knowledge with each other. So he is going to show us how to motivate learners to engage in the EFL classroom. And Mr. Tung, I think you can start.
Okay, thank you for your introduction, Mr. Wu. So, good morning, everyone. So, you have been through the two great presentations from the two previous presenters, and now it's come to my part. So, I would like to thank you for your attention to this conference today, and now, as Mr. Wu has introduced, now I would like to share with you how we can motivate our students in the EFL. So now, so I just don't want to waste everyone's time. So let's go through our talk today. And before that, I would like you to have a small discussion. Okay, so as you can see in the following pictures, okay. So in the chat box, okay. Okay, so everyone, would you please share what are the ongoing problems in teaching and learning English in Vietnam currently? Okay, so please everyone share your ideas in your chat box, okay. Yes, as Mr. Wu said, yes, tons of them, very big class size, okay. Yeah, students are shy to raise their opinions. The students, yeah, cannot speak properly. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're afraid some kind of making mistakes when they're speaking. Yeah, that's right. Scared of sharing opinions and support-based ideas. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Ms. Ngân. Perceptions of parents may influence teachers' choice of methods. Yeah, okay. Right. So can you, yeah, okay, teachers do not give time for students to speak and participate in the class. Okay, yeah. Yeah, maybe because the big size of the class, some students don't understand what they are learning for. So it's very important for teachers to set the objectives of the course of the lesson at the beginning. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, teachers' competence is an issue as well. Yeah, the teaching skills of the teacher, how they interact with students. Students don't have the motivation to learn. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it can be attributed to some causes about the lack of motivation in learning. So does anyone have any different ideas? All right, so what the problems you have said, they are truly happening in the EFL classroom. And as Mr. Wu says, students don't have the motivation to learn. So now, so let me go through some theories about the motivation in learning, that from that we can have some indication in teaching. So the theory, so let's come to the theory of learning second language motivation. And I have a definition here from Gardner. So Mr. Gardner defined the motivation in the second language is to the extent to which the individual works or strives to learn the language because of the desire to do so. Means that they really want to do that. They want to do that. And the satisfaction experience in this activity. And it means that they really enjoy learning the language. Yeah. And the motivation in learning can be attributed to some factors also by Gardner, 2001, sorry. So there are three factors that contribute to the motivation of the learners. The first one, the effort to learn the language. For example, they might try to spend maybe whole day, even 3 months to master English. They decide wanting to achieve the goal. For example, like they want to get the high score in the English test. They want to have a flying color score in the IELTS, in the TOEIC test, or they just want to, you know, just want to be able to talk, to speak to the native speaker naturally. And the last one is the positive affect, means that the process that they enjoy, the process of learning that they enjoy, they really enjoy. They find learning English is interesting, joyful, something like that. Okay, and so so in your opinion, how many types of how many types of motivations that there are that we can how many types of motivation are there in learning second language? So everyone please share in the chat box. Yeah, so we said there are two types of motivation, so extrinsic and intrinsic. Okay, right. Does anyone have any ideas? All right. Okay. So yeah. So I would like to share with you there are two kinds of motivation according to Pink, 2011. Extrinsic factors means that the learners are motivated by the external elements, such as, for example, you give them bonus when learning. And the next one is the intrinsic factors, the inner desire of learners to meet their needs. For instance, they need to have a good job, right? Yeah. So in the chat box, okay, could you share some examples of internal factors and external factors of motivation that you may have experienced when you learn English when you were young, or maybe you have observed from your students. Okay, so everyone, please share your experience, share your stories, share your idea in the chat box. Yeah, so we share with us that your internal factor of motivation in studying English is to become an English teacher. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You wish so, Mr. Wu said you want to understand English songs for family and friends. Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah, it could be the external factors, it could be the internal factors of motivation that you have experienced or you have observed from your students. Okay, does everyone have any idea for this? Yeah, I would like to see I want to see your ideas, your experience. What is it that everyone is thinking, right? Is reflecting. Yeah, so I want to share my so my external factors when I learned English when I was young is because I love playing video games. So whenever I play some games, then there's some dialogues in English. So that really motivates me to understand what the people are saying in the video games. And also I also have the dream to become an English teacher, just like me, and that's my internal factor. Um, so now, so I think that we will move on to the next part, okay, of some ways that we can motivate our students in the classroom. Okay, so okay, this is the QR code for the Padlet. So I want everyone to scan the QR codes, and we will have a small discussion in the Padlet. And in my Padlet, there's a questions. Could you share some ways from your teaching experience that you use to motivate your student to engage in the classroom? Yeah, so I got the answer: positive reinforcement, bonus, praise, reward. Okay, yeah, knowing the insights and rock. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I'm waiting for more response. Be clear about the objectives. Yeah, right. Yeah, so it's important to set the objectives at the end. At the beginning of the course or the lesson, so that the student will know what they are going to do. Create a friendly environment. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the student will feel comfortable when they learn. Student. Okay, let me see. Student likes game, so yeah, right. Yeah, student always loves game. Okay. Yeah, we should create some activities for them to practice using a language. Allow students to work with their friends. Yeah. Okay. Use candies as a present. Oh no. Yeah. Okay. So every day when we come to the class, we should bring a small basket of candies to reward them. Okay. I'm waiting for more responses. Indoor activities. Let them play games. Yes. Yeah. Right. Students really love playing games in the classroom. Strong and inspired voice. Yeah, right. Strong and inspired voice. Yeah. Yeah, it's strong and inspired voice. That's a good idea. Yeah. But this one, we have to practice a lot to have a very inspiring voice to get them motivated. Okay. Make them do a lot of activities. It will be free. Yeah. Okay. Right. Learning outside the classroom. Yeah, maybe. Okay. For example, if you have a chance, take them to some English club outside and let them use the language they have learned so far in real life. All right, everyone, does anyone still have any ideas for this one? Okay, so so now I would like to share you some points, some main points for which that we can apply to motivate our students. So the first thing is from my teaching experience, I usually use the authentic content to teach my students so that they will feel interested. For example, like we can use the TV shows or news with real life stories. Yeah, that's a good part because maybe the content of course book is interesting, but the students will feel they just feel that oh, it's a course book. They are learning, they are studying. They are not they don't feel that they're exposed to the language. So for example, to check news or BBC News, they are a good source for us to use to teach students, and they have a lot of topics. And more interesting ways we can use movies like as you can see on this screen. Okay, as you can see, this is a screenshot from superhero movies, and if we can use the movies with the subtitles, we can teach our students some phrases that they can use in conversation. For example, in this subtitle, we will see the phrase, "Can you turn the music down, please?" So I use this one to teach my student how to make a request and when they look at the movie screen, they feel interested, they feel excited, and they know that that's a real English, so they will use that. They will learn. They will try to use that to practice. Okay, and the other source is the video game. So because I also love playing video games, so I will use some games that have a lot of dialogues like this to teach students some new vocabulary, some phrases that I think that's useful for them. And newspapers, books, or comics in English, they're also good sources. And songs, yeah, I see that many teachers love using songs to teach students English because the melody is catchy, right? Yeah, it's attractive, so the student they might repeat the song, and from that they can learn some new phrases in the song. Okay, and and the next point, that's for the authentic material. So we select depends on the topic. We will select some real life materials and incorporate into our lesson to teach them. Now let's move on to the another point in motivating students is to create positive learning atmosphere. Yeah, as I remember, someone else sent a message that we should create a friendly learning atmosphere. So here are a few things. Yes, those in the pictures, as you can see, they are those pictures I took from my classes. So when we teach students, from my experience, it's important to listen to the students. Uh, for example, when I come to a new class, there was a student that said to me that learning English is boring. Yeah, and at the first place, I approached to her and tell her and ask her why you think learning English is boring, because you know that when you listen to students, they will when they feel safe to express to you some problems that they're having when they learn English, and from that you will you identify the problems and you find a ways to solve the problems in your classroom. And the next point is to encourage them. Okay, so as yeah, I remember Miss Ngong also sent message that we should praise the student, okay, praise the students because they did a good job. First, especially when they are conducting speaking exercise, okay, praise them. Maybe they make some errors in their talk, but when they finish their talk, okay, it's important to encourage them because they have tried their best. And after that, we will give them some feedbacks for them to improve. And yeah, we should take care. From my experience, it's also very vital, necessary to take care of every student because different students we have the different levels, so we need to pay attention to them. Okay, what the problem they are having. The last one, as everyone said, we have some interesting activities. We create some games for them to take part in, and from that they can use the language they have just learned. Okay, so just for this part, we create a friendly learning classroom, okay? And the next point I would like to share with you is we use some effective teaching methods. So in the chat box, okay, could you share with me some teaching methods that we have known so far? Yeah, what's the teaching methods or techniques, okay, that you have used in your classroom, okay? Yeah, could you share with everyone in the chat box, okay? In the chat box. Role-like activities, that's right, okay. Role-like activities, especially when we're teaching speaking, okay. Any techniques or any methods that you use that you have been using so far? Tested test, okay. Task by project based, okay. Emotion, Mr. Fong, right? So I would like to know more about your idea. How would you use the emotion when you teach in the classroom? Okay, Mr. Huynh, you say student plays games to teach. Okay, right. This group, okay, she said use the ALM, okay, CLT, task by shadowing, okay, communicative language teaching, yeah, is that yeah, CLT, yeah. Okay, so as we have known so far, there are many techniques and methods that are available now for us to use teach students in the classroom. So I would like to share with you some of my ideas. So it's better, okay, we combine all the teaching methods, CLT, TBL, task by learning, direct method, right? And sometimes grammar translation method is okay because we can use to make students understand, for example, like the instruction or something that's too abstract for them to understand. And as we have shifted to online teaching, applying technology in teaching is a trend right now, okay, and everyone loves using that. For example, we can use some online apps such as Kahoot, Padlet, Bamboozle, and okay, so everyone could you share with the others, okay, in the chat box some apps, some softwares that you have been using so far to facilitate the learning and teaching in your classroom, especially the online classroom in this current situation. Okay, could you share in the chat box some apps or some software that you use, and so everyone can know and apply them to their classroom. Okay, quiz list, memorize. Okay, yeah. Jamboard, right? Yeah. Google Docs. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Kahoot. Yeah. Student love that. Quiz at Kahoot. Nearport. Blickers. Wow. Lots of them. Word One. Lee Worksheet. Nearport. Book Creator. ClassPoint. Class Dojo. Yeah. Class Dojo is very interesting. It's just like a Google Classroom, but it's more approachable, and it has some very cues characters for the student to choose for their profile. Look at. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so do you have any new apps or software that you use to teach the student? Feel free to say. Okay, Gather Town. Yeah. Okay, Gather Town. Yeah, Gather Town. Yeah, I have seen Gather Town. So it was just mentioned in the Miss Ngân presentation. Okay, Gather Town. Yeah, that's interesting. Minecraft for education. Wow, Minecraft for education. Use your video game for education. Okay, yeah, right. Yeah, apply using video games to teach English. It's very interesting ideas. Minecraft. Yeah, there's even an app on the Android and also in some Apple devices that we can download Minecraft for education. We teach that for the students. All right. Okay. So the last point I would like to share with you is we relate our lesson to the real life experience of our students, like for example, like we teach music, some topic related about music, food, right? In the course book, especially about the topic about food, in the course book, there are some kinds of food that they don't know because they are Western food, but we will relate them to some our traditional Vietnamese food and use that, okay, to make the student feel close to the lesson, okay? Or when I teach something about music, I also relate it to some famous singers in Vietnam like Sơn Tùng or Binz, okay, to teach them maybe some kind of music, or maybe have them to write a biography of those famous singers to practice writing something like that. Okay, so that brings to an end of this part, and now here's come to another point. Yeah, positive feedback is also very important. to motivate our students. So we do give feedbacks when the student practice speaking or writing. So in your chat box, okay, in your chat box again, I would like to see your ideas about how you give feedback to your students in the classroom. Okay, how do you give the feedback to your student in the classroom? Through comments and assignment in Google Classroom. Okay, yeah, right. So what will you say? What will you say in your feedback? Okay, what will you say in your feedback? And to help students to improve their work. Okay, 3 ways of feedback. So Ray said that written feedback on the class, making grammatical errors, self-evaluation with the checklist. Yeah, okay. Comment on their strengths and weaknesses. Okay. All right. So so I would like to share with you some key points. Um, so we will provide positive and constructive feedbacks to the learners. And from my experience, I usually provide the feedback based on the student's current answer and improve it. For example, the same sentence from my students, but it has some grammatical errors or pronunciation mistakes. I will repeat that sentence, but by improving, by fixing their errors, their mistake in the in the answer, and then have them compare which one is better, so that they will know. From that, they will know what errors, what mistake they make so far, and have them explain and explain for them why we should use this but not this. Okay. And next, as you said, we praise the students for their strength. Okay. Yeah. To make them feel encouraged to keep trying, keep doing the best for the next time. And yeah, as I said before, have students point out their mistake and fix them by giving a better version of their answer. And of course, it's a little about more, yeah, well, we use non-verbal action such as nodding, smiling, etc. to make students feel comfortable when when they're speaking. Yeah, and from that, that because the student, they feel comfortable, they don't afraid of making mistake anymore. We can easily identify the problems and help them to improve better. And the last one, as some of the presenters have said before, yeah, we let the students conduct peer feedback with each other. Yeah, because maybe when they talk to their friends, they feel more confident, and they feel they feel encouraged to they feel that they need to do something better to 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 catch up, to follow up their friend. Okay, so that's some key points in providing feedbacks. Okay, so yeah, so I can see some message. So Miss Fu said that yeah, keep the feedback of the students' performance. Okay, comments on vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, and Miss Three say focus on what students can do, good things they have finished. Okay, yeah, if there is mistake, have them correct by the teacher or the student. Yeah, okay. Thank you everyone. Thank you for your sharing. Okay, and the last key point. Okay, the last key point I would like to share with you is the yeah, the teacher ourselves. So what do I mean the teacher ourselves? Yeah, so as a teacher, okay, of course we need to have a strong knowledge about our expertise. Yeah, our teaching methods. Okay, yeah, and be open-minded and keep our knowledge up to date because as you know, there are more issues, more concerns. Okay, there are more things happening um, every day, and especially in our TESOL. Okay, there are new things to discover. So we keep updates, we keep ourselves up to date to adapt to the new things, and then we can apply in our teaching career. And be open-minded, okay? Because because as students' feedback also very important to know where we are still weak, and from that we can improve our teaching skills. So I always tell my students that if there's anything wrong with my lesson, if there's something that you understand from my lesson, feel free to provide feedback so that I can improve my lesson. And the next part is have a strong passion and the willingness to help our students improve, because we teachers, we always want our beloved students to improve day by day, to have to make a good progress improvement, so that they they learn, they have a they have an interest, they like learning English, they love learning English, and this which can help them in the future and become passionate. Okay, yeah, become passionate, be patient, especially with the student mistakes. um, so yeah, we that when the student mistakes, okay, um, I usually try. Maybe they even make some basic mistakes, but I will try to listen to them, okay, and provide them some feedbacks that yeah, you are making these mistakes, okay. Yeah, try to improve that, okay, to see if your answer is better. And the next one is understand the student's needs. So every at the beginning of my class, I always ask my students to something like, what do you expect from this course? And when I listen from the answer, I know what I am going to do to meet their needs, and from that we can have effective learning and teaching. Um, and the next one, we teach our student wholeheartedly. I mean, it's because sometimes that sometimes whether we are so tired because we teach so many classes, but we still keep the passion, okay, to teach the student to finish the lesson, and after that, when the student come out of class, they still remember what they have learned. They understand the lesson, what they have learned so far. Okay, and the last part I would like to share with you is to help students realize the importance of learning English. It's really important because this kind of, I said before, this is create a student the internal factor that the student they need to understand the importance of learning English. They learn English they will have they will have a better job opportunities in the future. They will have a better life in the future. So help them. So as a teacher, we need to help them realize the importance of learning English, so that they don't take learning English just for granted. And as you can see, there's some feedbacks from my students. And yeah, all right. And I hope that I also believe that everyone here is okay, also receive the positive feedbacks from your student, and which also motivate us to deliver the best lesson and to help our students improve. And so that's the last point, the last key point of my presentation, and also the end of my talk. Okay, so now it's time for quiz and Q&A if we still have enough time.
Okay, here the contact details of Mr. Tuong is on the screen. Please save it for your reference. And if you have any questions regarding how to motivate the students, please feel free to contact